Hi there, I'm Crystal Gazer and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos on Guild Wars 2 with emphasis on PvE gameplay. If you like this video and want to see more content like it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to be notified of future videos, hit the little bell icon and turn on notifications. So last time I gave you a brief overview of Guild Wars 2. Today we're going to create a character and actually start playing. This is character creation. I gave a brief overview of the races and classes in the last video. If you missed that, feel free to go and check it out and come back. The link's in the description. I'm just going to whiz through the aesthetics. Spend some time and check out the options though. For me, if the character doesn't look right, I end up deleting it, and as you can see there's a reasonable amount of customization here. Right, now we're on to the background and story choices. As with most RPGs, some of these alter your early story and some are just flavour. Pick whatever you think is going to be fun. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, there's descriptions to help you make these choices. The first two are just flavour. The headgear has different skins, but the stats are all the same, and it's early gear, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. This is the first choice that alters your personal story. I haven't played Green Knight for a while, so I'm going to go with that storyline. This decision is a little bit of story, a little bit of flavour. It influences the way some of the NPCs react to you. This is the final decision before picking a name, and it decides which NPC will accompany you in early story. And now we have to find a unique name. Once you've successfully picked a name, the game gives you a cutscene to show you the choices you've made. If you want to see that for this character, go check out my stories playlist. Right, so character made, we're now in the tutorial, which is the dream for the Sylvari. The tutorial gives you sort of the basics of combat, movement, following story objectives, and how to interact with NPCs and objects. It isn't a solo instance, which I do like. It's MMO from the beginning. So any green names you see on the screen, they're all players. Here we see the Fashion Wars side of Guild Wars 2. As we level, we're going to be picking up random pieces of armour that won't necessarily look good together. So I'm applying an outfit, so a skin, over the top of them that I've either had from Black Lion Chests, which is like a loot box system, or the gem store. As you play the game, you'll pick up dies as rewards, but most if not all of them are available on the TP trading post, which is the player market. The reason I've gone for an outfit rather than individual item skins is because of the transmutation charges. Each item that you alter visually, other than dyeing, costs a transmutation charge, and there's potentially 13 items for a fully kitted out character. One of the most reliable ways to earn transmutation charges is map clearing, so completing all the objectives on a map, but you'll see that later. In terms of looking around in game, there are two ways of doing it. The game tells you about the default way, which is to hold the right mouse button and turn the mouse, but there is a toggleable action cam. If you press escape while in game and go to options and the mouse icon, that'll give you the mappable keys. Toggle action cam is under camera, and as you can see, I've got mine set to mouse 4 at the moment. Action cam just does the same job as holding down the right mouse button. Story objectives are indicated by a green marker on the map and over the object or NPC that relates to. If you can't see it on your map, hover over the objective that's in the top right hand corner of your screen and it'll highlight it more obviously on the map for you. Again, I'm skipping the story sections in this, so if you want to see any of the story to do with this character, it will all be in the story playlist on the YouTube channel. We've got 2 skills at the moment that we can use in terms of combat. One is the auto skill, because we're a Mesmer, we've been given a sword to play around with, and that has a cycle of 3 different skills that it loops through on the auto attack. And the other is the heal skill, which is auto assigned to button 6. Between those we've got the red ball, which is our health pool, and there's like an orange or amber coloured bar just above it. That is essentially, it's our dodge skill, so I can dodge 2 times. It's used for other stuff, which you'll see later in game, for things like mounts, but for now it's the dodge skill, and you'll see it go down as I dodge while I get into combat in the event. If you look in the top right hand portion of the screen, the event, which is orange, has just popped up underneath the story step that I'm on. So whenever you're running around in the world, if you're near an event, you'll get that pop up. It'll tell you what the event is, and then you can join the event and you know exactly what you've got to do. So this is another way to know that there's an event on. There's a big orange circle on the map. Sometimes it's red, like if it's a major meta event, but mostly the event circles will be orange, and if there's a boss, you'll see that orange skull on the map as well.
I don't have enough energy.
So that line you just heard from my character, I don't have enough energy, is telling me that I've used all of my endurance bar, which is that orange or amber coloured bar that I was talking about earlier, which means that I can't dodge until it's refilled, or at least half refilled. So the rule of thumb when in combat is try not to stand in the big red circles. I'm in melee at the moment, so I don't really have much option, at which point it's a case of trying to manage how much damage you're taking versus the recharge time on your healing skills. As I'm fighting, you'll probably be noticing the white numbers popping up. That's the damage I'm doing to it. Any red numbers that are popping up, the damage it's doing to me. And any like white words that are popping up are things that I'm achieving. And gold numbers are usually the XP that you've gained from doing what you've just done. And we've now defeated the boss and completed the tutorial. So what this is showing is that we've got an additional weapon because we've completed the story, and we got some XP. We've also leveled up, which has given us an additional weapon skill. So now we can do an additional thing with our sword. When you level up, you get 2 screens. So you get one that tells you what you've just gained, and the next one tells you what level you have to be to gain the next few things. Something I really like about this game is that when you get out into the world of Tyria, you're not just kind of left to your own devices, but you're free to do what you like. So this just showed me that I should go and speak to a scout.
Welcome to
the scouts give you bits of information about the area, they give you bits of story,
seek guidance from those who make their homes here, and
I find it useful to go and grab them, because otherwise you might miss stuff that's lost in the fog of war. And if you're trying to actually complete the map, so get all the waypoints, the points of interest, the vistas, the hearts, the hero points, all of that jazz, if you're trying to get all of that, then it's useful to grab the scouts, because they'll show you where all the hearts are, so you know roughly the areas that you need to be heading towards to achieve that map completion.
As you journey outward, you'll encounter amazing Asuran waypoints that, for a small
so if you've got a
fee,
core or a
allow you to
free
rapidly
account,
traverse the land.
or if you're on a brand new account and therefore haven't been into the expansions yet, apart from travelling around on foot, you've got the Asura gates, which are free and found in towns once you can access those. And the waypoints, which cost a little bit of money, and you have to find them on the maps before you can actually use them. But they are worth going and finding. Quick thing about hearts. In this game, you don't have to actually speak to the quest giver, so the heart person, to know what you're supposed to do or to start the quest. You just look in the top right hand portion of your screen. If you run into an area that has a heart, it'll pop up there exactly what you need to do. So you just complete the objectives, and then once completed, the heart will pop up above your mini map on the bottom right hand portion of the screen, unless you've moved it. And you click on that, get the rewards, done. The quest giver does then turn into a karma vendor. Now, karma is a currency within the game that you get for doing pretty much anything in game. Killing enemies, doing quests, doing events, like I say, pretty much anything in game. And you can spend it at various different vendors. They have a purple triangle over their heads normally, and that's the marker. If they show up on the map, that's the marker they'll have, is that purple triangle. Right, so why am I showing you me just like running around the map doing random events and hearts and what have you? What I'm doing is leveling. I'm map clearing. That's the quickest way to level, is to map clear. And it's because story, once you've done the tutorial, it starts at level 10. So we have to get to level 10 before we can unlock any more story. Don't worry though, you're not going to spend your entire time just watching me randomly run around the map. What you just saw pop up is my inventory, because we got given a bag when we leveled up. So there are various vendors that sell inventory bags. You can see the slots down the left hand side that you can put your bags into. There's different size of bags, there's different specialities of bags. Later on, when we're getting more into the game and therefore my inventory's filling up quite rapidly, you'll see me go and get some bags, and I'll explain them all properly then. A quick word on weaponry. Weapons don't all have the same skills. It depends on A, what weapon you're running, and B, what class you are, as to what skills you'll have assigned to each slot. At the moment, like, I've switched to a scepter because it was higher stats. I'm not worried about what the stats are, just are they higher, because we're leveling at the moment and we're in core and we're really early on. So it's just a case of, are the stats better in terms of, are they higher than what I currently am wearing or using? That's all I'm thinking about. But like, scepter on a mesmer will be different to scepter on another casting class. There are two different ways to dodge in this game, so you're about to see the tutorial for dodging. The game suggests that you do the V and then hold the direction you want to go in, but you can also double tap. That's an option that you have to enable in your options menu. Not so good if you're on jumping puzzles though. I've fallen off so many times leaving my double tap evade on. Right, I really don't want these videos to get too long, so I'm going to leave it there. Next week I will be releasing the first episode of story for this character, so don't forget to come back and check that out. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell.